So we've done part one of our end of season MOT at the rear end. We found out we need some brake pads. We've got brake shoes again, sorry. We've got a little rear bracket that holds the handbrake in place, which seems to have bent and is not holding the handbrake in place. And the rear bracket on the near side just wants cleaning up and see if we can work out why it's loosening. So we'll call this part 2 of the MOT. Basically it's the same thing, we're just checking for loose parts, making sure we've got no breakages. I'll have a quick look on the seats, just the mountings on the sides. Pull this belt back, also we check the belts, give these a little nip. Belt mountings are tight on the sides, and belts are all in good condition and of course in date. These belts are good until the end of next season, as long as they're all in good condition, which is what they are in. We mount round the roll bar, so there's no mount in the back to check. Obviously need to know that these are good and tight still, and they clearly are, they're still wrapped through as they should be. We don't really need to check much on the fire extinguisher, we know it's well in date, we can see that oil pressure's fine. A quick make sure the mounting's solid, which it is. Weights have just gone in on this one, just to give us a bit of extra weight as on this one, but it's best to know that they're nice and tight. So before I wander off, I'll give this side of the seat a quick nip up. I also check the seat from the underside, quite regular, even though they're on nylocks. You sometimes can get a little nip on them. Right, so we'll come out of the car and we'll move straight underneath, and I want to look at the floor where our subframe mounts it, make sure we've got no stressed areas there, also on the subframe. And while I'm under here, check the nuts as well. Which all seem pretty solid. The subframes can also crack in this area, as well as getting stress fractures on the floor. It's best to have a good feel around, make sure everything's as it should be. And thankfully it is, because you don't want to start pulling subframes out and start welding them. Right. So it's just usual MOT stuff here really, it's just grabbing the wheel, moving it around, seeing if we've got any play in the bearing, top and bottom ball joint, shock absorber mountings, and track rod end. But obviously we've got our spherical joints to look at as well. Right, it's a bit two-handed, so I'll grab hold of here. We'll get that camera somewhere. Right. Right, so straight away I can hear something there, and I can feel a little bit of play, but I can't see any movement on the top ball joint, which you'd think it is at that. Could be a tiny amount of movement there, but that's not where the noise is coming from. Right, we'll have a nose at the other side. So again, once I get over the street rubbish, just put you there. Quick check the subframe. Have a feel around the floor area. Obviously you can see the floor from the inside of the car, but it's always best to have a check around, especially end of the season. Like I say, these cars do take a beating, so stuff can come loose. Oh, fracture. Oh, these are okay and tight. So bottom mounts seem to be all good and tight. Right, so that's our floor mounts checked. Right, we'll have a look on this side, see what we've got in the way of any movement or play. Again, we'll check this shocker mounting, seems solid enough. Tie bar rose joint's solid. Nothing on tractor end. And we've got some play. Right, I think I'll see where the play is there. If we have a look at the rose joint here, I don't know if you can see that. But I can feel it when I grab that bottom arm. I can feel that. So there seems to be some play in the rose joint. That lower arm pin. Yeah. Well, the nut's very loose on the lower arm pin, so it's a split washer and a nut. It's not a nylock. As long as I haven't stripped the threads, I'm going to try and, well, as long as the threads haven't stripped, I'm going to try and nip it up and see if I can lose that play. Hopefully it's the same on the other side, if not it's new rose joints. That is quite loose actually. Yeah, that bottom pin was quite loose there. I'll give it a quick nip to see if we've lost the play. Yep, and we've lost all the play, so the pin which runs through the rose joint for the bottom arm is always worth checking. I think what we'll do here, I'll nip it up for now, but we'll put a nylock nut on. The split washer's that old, it's probably got no spring left in it, so just safer with a nylock and a washer on. So we'll get that sorted, but I'll nip it up and just double make sure there's no play. With that's this side pretty much alright. I'm just having a quick visual round, make sure there's no splitting on the inner wings or anything like that. Everything looks good. What we do need, again same as the back, and these are pads, not shoes. Don't know how much you can see there. We've only got a few mil, I don't know what, 4 mil left on them. So yeah, I could run them for a bit longer, but it's not really advisory. Even if they got us through a qualifying session, they're not going to dissipate the heat very well, and they're just going to end up damaging the discs. So new pads for the front, put that on with the new shoes for the back. So that's some Mint X11 44s will be shotting on there. So just double check this bottom arm's tight. Alright, there's one we have to watch out for, this bottom pin then and that nut. So what we'll do, we will get a nylock and we will put a nylock on that, but even though it's nylocked, we will still keep an eye on that one. So that'll affect the geometry. It's probably happened at Coombe because quite abusive on the curbs at Coombe. and it takes quite a battering. Driver complains that you can feel that the car's just taking a proper beating. You actually feel sorry for it at points. But such is the nature of some of the circuits. Just things that we have to end up checking out for. I'll have a quick look at the pair joints on the front, make sure they're alright on the front subframe. What we'll also have to check is the tower bolts, that they're tight. Obviously it's quite easy to shake up, and when we've had solid mounts on cars on the road, I've had them loosen off, so right, it's probably best to take a spanner if I want to check that. Keep the 13 with us as well as the 14, well, 9/16. Right, hopefully this is the same. If it's not, it'll be needing a new rose joint. If it's the same, it just wants a nylon nut on. Right, so I've fully tightened up on this side, but we've still got play, so I think that's something else on the list. There'll be a rose joint for this side. I don't think it's down to the spacers. It could be down to the spacers, but tightening it up should take that in, and it hasn't, so I think we'll be putting a new rose joint on this side. We'll probably just get a pair of them. Just stick one in as a by-the-by on that side. If budget runs a bit further, we might invest in some different bottom arms. I think MED do some, and the rose joint's a lot more heavy duty on the MED, so it shouldn't take so much, well, it should be a lot easier to deal with and not need so much servicing. Right, rip this bonnet off. Right, put the camera down while I'm doing that, I think. Please don't fall off there. So what we need to check next is these tower bolts here. Basically it's just a matter of putting the socket on them, seeing whether they're loose or not. Let's see if I can put my hands on the socket. Oh, one thing, I've looked at tyre wear. That's a vast improvement from the last set of tyres that we showed you after Pembrey, where they were just dissolved. It's a nice, quite happy with that. Quite happy with how that tyre's worn. It's not bad. This near side, it's not quite as good. So you can see whether the pressure's got the better of it when the tyre's heated up. It's a little bit shouldered just here. We'll probably use it again for a qualifying session. We've got another decent tyre in the van, but the wear's not too bad. It could be from a bit of could be a little flat spot. But yeah, it's not super bad. Again, it's a lot better than the wear we were getting on them. whether it's due to the, could actually be due to the loose pin. And there's a bit of movement on the bottom arm. Okay, see them pistons are quite far out there. Oh yeah, them pads are definitely for the change. Right, let's have a quick look for this socket. And if it's not in here, there we go. It's our travelling toolkit, that one. It's usually in the back of the van, but it's if it's a mini tool, I try and keep it with us. Although, like the clutch puller's in a separate box and that in the van, but anything mini based is, well, this race car based, we take with us in the back of the van. I think I've been using that as a chisel maybe. Get a better extension. Let's give these a quick squeeze. Nice and tight. Okay. Right. So we're pretty much good to go really. We've got a few little bits like say brake pads, brake shoes at the back, other daft little bits at the back, the handbrake table, brackets, the toe bracket on this side, and at the front we've got some nylocks for these rose joints. Maybe change the bottom arms, if not new rose joints, new brake pads. Tyres are good. Obviously we don't know what we're doing with engine. Hopefully we at least get it on a rolling road. If not, we have got we are feeling quite confident with the timing, and that we can push the timing on and get some more power out this engine where we want it. So we're dead at around 4,000 RPM till 5,500 RPM. Once we get that area clear, we're back up the pace and we're okay. It's just that area, but I've noticed that when I've dropped the ignition timing down, obviously that's affecting the curve right the way down, although it's more of a cliff than a curve because it's that steep, but that's affecting that mid-range timing area. So I think we can endure a lot more timing in that mid-range. I had brought one of the springs back, the secondary spring in the distributor I had brought back, so it was pulling some tension on, so we weren't quite getting full ignition timing at 4,000, so I'm going to change that spring, and obviously we'll retime it and we'll just time it up a few more degrees to where we think we can run it, and that will yield us some more power without a doubt. Obviously we're a bit nervous with that because we don't want to melt a piston or drop a valve or anything. But yeah, if we can get on a rolling road, then we can do that and we can know we're safe. Maybe a little bit more profile in the needle at some point if I think so. Obviously we put the spring in, and that's changed us from being quite rich to being pretty decent mixture looking. So I don't think we need any changes there. It does, a little bit lean, and the idle adjustment, we've used the idle adjustment to richen the mixture, which yeah, you shouldn't do. It's all done on the needle really. So all I'm going to do is try and transfer that onto the needle and see if we can improve it that way. Again, ideally you need metering tools, you need rolling rod, you need something that can measure what's coming out of the exhaust so you know what's going in the engine at a specific time and speed. But we're doing it old school, like real old school. Yeah. Anyway, we'll call this a video, we'll call it a day. Now I'm going to go get a cuppa. Next video, I haven't got a clue what we'll be doing. All depends on, like I say, budget. We have got a few bits obviously that we need to do. We need to get these brakes sorted, win, lose or draw. See how it goes, bottom arms. I would like to change the bottom arms for the heavier duty types. But we'll see, we'll see. We've got all winter to do it. And we said that before. Time just flies around and all of a sudden racing season's in, so we're not ready. But anyway, we've got plenty of time to do it, so fingers crossed, you know, we'll get the job sorted. So, till the next one, we'll see you guys later. Y'all take it easy. Bye.